BLT, bacon, egg, and cheese. Rock, paper, scissors. I know what you're thinking. Why am I talking about food and games in an accounting class? To answer your question, all of these items have something in common with product costs. They each are made up of 3 different elements. Today, I will tell you about 3 elements of product costs and provide you with 2 examples for better understanding. Product costs are made up of 3 manufacturing costs: direct materials cost, direct labor cost, and factory overhead cost. A direct materials cost is the cost of materials that are both an integral part of the finished product and a significant portion of the total cost of production. A direct labor cost is the wages of factory workers who are directly involved in converting materials into a finished product. In comparison with a direct materials cost, a direct labor cost must be both an integral part of the finished product and a significant portion of the total cost of the product. A factory overhead cost is all of the cost of producing a product except for direct materials and direct labor. A factory overhead cost may also be called manufacturing overhead or factory burden. Although product costs may seem complex, when you break it down into these 3 elements, it becomes easier to understand. This leads me into my first set of examples. For the first set of examples, I will tell you how the 3 different elements of product costs pertain to manufacturing cars. A direct materials cost required to manufacture cars would be physically identifiable, like the cost of rubber used to make the tires or the cost of metal used for the frame. A direct labor cost required to manufacture cars will be the wages of the employees working on the assembly line. Finally, a factory overhead cost required to manufacture cars would be the cost of lighting used in the factory while the cars are being produced. Now that you have seen how product costs can relate to manufacturing cars, let's switch gears. Next, you will see how these elements can apply to manufacturing clothing. A direct materials cost used to manufacture clothing would be the cost of the dye used in this shirt or the cost of thread used to sew it together. A direct labor cost used to manufacture clothing would be the cost of the employees that sew the clothing. Finally, a factory overhead cost required to manufacture clothing would be the cost of the property taxes of the factory. Now that you have learned about these elements and have seen 2 different examples, I hope you have a better understanding of product costs. Remember, if you ever forget how many elements make up product costs, think about a nice juicy BLT, or bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, or about a fun game of rock, paper, scissors. All of these items consist of 3 elements, and product cost 3 elements are direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead.